Alright folks, so the other day my wife and I were waiting for the bus. She had, doctor's appointment and whatnot. So then we're heading back to we head back to the bus stop. We're sitting there waiting. Now there's a construction worker there waiting for the bus too. Now I'm convinced that most construction workers are frankly on drugs and are alcoholics. And you might think that's kind of a ridiculous assumption. I spent 6 years working in the construction industry, and I was informed by several of my coworkers over the years that I was the only person on the job site not on drugs and not with an alcohol problem. So there you go. So sure enough, then another guy shows up. Now right before the bus comes, the one guy pulls out a cigar and the other guy pulls out a cigarette. What's the fucking sense of pulling out a cigar and a cigarette right as the bus arrives? Then you gotta put the fucking thing out and get on the bus, which they wind up doing. Now, nobody said construction workers are all that smart. If anybody does say that, it's not going to be me. While we're talking about construction workers, now, somebody's got to be building all these buildings and all these things around town these construction workers are building. You know who I think it is? Space aliens. It's like they said, sometimes people think that the ancient pyramids were built by space aliens. I'm thinking that's how it is with these buildings around town. Every time I go by a job site, there's like 12 construction workers. 11 of them are standing around doing nothing, while one of them's doing very little. Yet all these fucking buildings are getting built. Suppose while we're all sleeping, the space aliens are coming down in the middle of the night and building these things. Because they figure sometimes the space aliens want to come down here and they want to go to a casino. But they fly by the casino and they're like, hey, nobody's building anything. These fuckers are all standing around. So then they call up other reinforcements with the spaceship, and then they all come along and fly down here, and in the middle of the night while we're sleeping, they build all this stuff, and then the cokeheads come to work the next morning and they're like, holy shit, man, what the hell happened? We stood around all day fucking around doing nothing at top union wages, and then we come in this morning and wow, man, that's like half a building built. What the fuck happened? I'll tell you what happened. The space aliens. Now you might think this sounds ridiculous. I don't know. I see these guys standing around doing nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a building there. Now, of course, what it probably is these cokeheads are standing around, and they eventually work, but they, it takes like probably 6 times longer than it has to because of, the 200 coffee breaks a day, and they gotta stop and have a donut. They probably spend half the day in the toilet, pissing out the coffee and shitting out the donuts and all that crap. But you know what? Since I'm convinced there's intelligent life out there in the galaxy and the universe somewhere, there's not much of it on this planet, I can tell you that. Very little in Mississippi. So I'm gonna stick with my theory about the space aliens. Why not? I mean, as I said, these construction workers are all standing around doing nothing. They loiter all day long, screwing around, leaning against a shovel, scratching their asses, farting. I don't know what the hell they're doing all day. But then eventually there's a building there. Why not the space aliens? I mean, hey, look in Superman. He said they can be a great people if they want to be. They only lack the light to guide them. So there, we had to have a human come down here and straighten our asses out and save us from I just said we had to have a human come down here. See about human stupidity? I'm stupid because I refer to Superman as a human. Well, he could be a human, but he's an alien from another planet. He's not an earthling. Also, he's not real. But when does a lunatic rant like this ever stay grounded in reality? Who knows? But I'm sticking to my theory about the space aliens. And if you don't like it, make up your own theory.